that Ms. Piccinini has filed against Mr. Snodgrass, case 37916. And is that headset helping you out there?
It's like, no,
No, it's not working right.
it's not working right.
Can we see if there's another one out there, or we can work on getting that? We're gonna get something that works better, hopefully.
Just a little bit louder than you, I'll be fine.
Well, I can try that, but I want to be sure you're hearing me, and you're gonna have to hear Ms. Piccinini too, and I'm not sure how that's gonna work. So we'll try and get another one and give it a roll. While we're waiting for that, I think we can at least get people under oath. So Mr. Snodgrass, why don't you stand up with me and raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, please have a seat there. And Ms. Piccinini, you're in your car, so you're just going to raise your right hand with me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, we're just going to pause here and see if we can do better by Mr. Snodgrass for a hearing device.
Yeah, and I went ahead and tested it while you were doing it,
Okay.
so it sounds like it's a lot louder.
You tell me. All right, so we're going to start our trial here, and this is all about this notice that Ms. Piccinini filed about saying she's owed $1,000 from Mr. Snodgrass, and so I'm going to turn first to Ms. Piccinini and hear her side of this, and then I'll turn to you, Mr. Snodgrass. And so I will hear from you. Please don't, you may hear something you disagree with. Don't speak out. Same thing, Ms. Piccinini, when I'm talking to Mr. Snodgrass, you may hear something you don't agree with. Don't speak out, make a note of it, but I will hear from both of you. So Ms. Piccinini, why do you think Mr. Snodgrass owes you $1,000?
Well, he came and took my wood without my permission, even though he claims I gave him permission. I did not. After he didn't show up at a reasonable time, 5 months later, he comes up behind my back and takes these logs off of my property when he could have called me or texted me or somehow prearranged, but he did not. He just came over, him and his buddy. And it cost me money to take those logs down, and I'll let him pay for it if that's the cost of, that was the cost of taking the logs down.
Okay, so let me kind of hone in on a couple of things here. So $1,000 is what? That's what cost you to fell these trees?
Rogers Tree Service on Delphi charged me $1,000 to take those trees down.
So why? All right, then. So you're saying that you spent $1,000 to have those trees felled on your property, and then Mr. Snodgrass came over and took them away. But the wood itself, you're saying that Mr. Snodgrass owes you $1,000. How is it that he would owe $1,000 for you having felled your own trees?
Well, he stole them from me, so I think that he should pay me for them. He just took them.
So you have to
put to somebody else.
How do you believe that those trees or those logs are worth $1,000? Where do you get that information?
Oh, well, when I go around and look at logs that are for sale, they want quite a bit of money for them, and I figured that the amount of wood that was sitting there comes pretty close to what everybody else is selling it for.
Okay, so
if you would burn it, it would work out better.
Firewood, what is it?
It would, firewood, or I don't know what people do with wood besides firewood. I know he works on, I know he has his brother saw wood up to make planks and stuff, and they do things with it. He might do that with that wood. I don't know.
Well, you still have to establish how you believe these, if indeed, part of this, I've got some more questions. You have to establish with some evidence, and I'm looking in your exhibits and looking what you filed with the court, some evidence as to why you believe that these trees that you felled are worth $1,000. What do you have?
I guess I can't prove that they're worth $1,000. I guess that's where I'm, because I don't have a receipt from this gentleman that put them down. I don't know where it's at anyway.
Well, it's not the issue of felling. You were going to fell these trees anyway, right?
I did fell them. Yes.
Yeah.
I had,
So you decide to do that, but then you're saying that it's because then those felled trees were taken away. You're saying stolen or
Hey, it looks like we got a big one, Ray. I'm not real good at that, but look at that there. Yes, every time they say that name, it's just hilarious. But looks like we got a good little crowd here. Let's jump through here and get through this one, and I think I can get some. I think I can get a guest on here. Let's see what we can do.
in March, I offered him the wood and he didn't show up and come and get it. And then I gave him a second chance. I believe it was in May. Again, I offered it to him and he didn't come and get it. I thought if he doesn't want to come and get it, then I will give it to someone else. And I did, to a gentleman by the name of John, and John came over. Well, I don't know how far you want me to go with this. That's all.
so in March, how did you offer those trees to Mr. Snodgrass?
I said, JJ, you want those trees? Come over and get them.
So did you talk in person?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah, because we
all
usually,
right.
Yeah.
And how did you make clear what trees it was that you were offering him?
how did I make clear what trees? Well, the trees that were fallen, and they were fallen on my property. He would know what trees I'm talking about.
So were you together and you pointed out the trees and you said, if you want them, you can take them?
No, I went to his place.
Okay. All right. And so then in May, you said you offered them again. What happened there? Were you together with the trees or on his place, or how did you talk?
Oh boy. I'm trying to remember if I texted him about it or if I went over there personally and said it. But I know that he told me to
Hear from you. I want to hear from.
I just know that he said, well, keep them over there to season. And I said, no, if you want, I think I've talked to him personally. If you want them, come and get them. I don't want, you can let them season on your property. And that's in May.
All right. So when you
And he
talked to
didn't
him,
do it.
thought was that they dry out on your property and you get it later. And were you okay with that?
No. I wasn't.
Okay. So did you tell him that?
I didn't say that to him. I just said, well, I said to myself, well, if he doesn't want to come and get them, I
Well,
will
but
give them to
what did
some.
you say to him? Saying to yourself doesn't help figure out if you had a contract.
We didn't.
So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out when you talk to yourself, that doesn't
Well,
help much.
No,
Say to him,
and
say
he
to
does, months go back. Well, his friend his friend Dwayne knew that I had changed my mind because he's the one. I changed my mind. Dwayne knew that I changed my mind about I'm not giving them to JJ anymore. I'm going to give them to this other friend. And Dwayne knew that, but Dwayne went over there and told him just when I wasn't home.
Well, I don't have Dwayne here and we don't know what Dwayne did and we don't know what he said. So what did you say to Mr. Snodgrass after May or in May about your change of mind? You've got some notes here that you filed with the court and I'm looking at those. Does that help you?
I probably did not say to him that I gave it to somebody else. And I don't really think that I have to owe that to him because it took him months. We're talking May and he comes in August. That's not a few weeks. That's months go by.
Okay. Did you tell him in March or May, get him off in the next 2 weeks or the next day or the next month? Did you kind of put a limit on it?
I did.
No. All right. So you make some other notes in your exhibits here, and then you say by August, so John M., is that the person that looks like you decided to give them to there after May?
Yes.
All right. And I'm having a hard time reading your handwriting. Maybe it failed first attempt and then late August returned. So John came back in late August. You offered them to him in May and in late August he came back?
Well, his saw failed him. So he came back again. He called and asked if the wood is still available. He'd like to come over with a new saw. And I says, well, it's gone because the neighbor took it.
So between
I-
May and August, you offered them to John and then John tried to get him and then didn't show up
Yeah.
for another 3 months
Yeah.
and then they were gone.
I'm not in the business of doing this. I'm giving people free wood. And JJ didn't come over and get it. So I said, well, I'm going to just give it to
Okay.
someone else.
Yeah.
And
All
they didn't,
right.
it wasn't there.
And then in August 16, they're not on your property anymore.
Correct.
When did you first notice they were gone?
When I got home, there was a trail all the way to JJ's house.
I wasn't trying to hide it.
Yep. Slow down, don't comment, I'll hear from you. So you noticed it on August 16th?
Yes, that evening.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, anything else you want me to know before I turn to Mr. Snodgrass?
Oh boy, I don't know what to say anymore after talking to the mediator. I just don't, I know that JJ's gonna say all kinds of things and they're not gonna be an agreeable.
Anything else you want to say, though, before I turn to Mr. Snodgrass?
Well, if he wants to return that wood, like I
I'm
told the
not in
meeting,
negotiations, that's over.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
trying, we're not in negotiations, that
Oh.
ended the trial, so I'm asking you for evidence to support your claim. Anything else you want to say? And I'm looking at your exhibits, I'm looking at Mr. Snodgrass's exhibits, anything else you want to say?
Well, I think he owes me a judgment for a payment for those dogs. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know where to go.
Well, the problem is, so Ms. Piccinini, I'm dismissing your claim without hearing from Mr. Snodgrass. And the reason I'm doing that is what I said earlier when I talked to the group as a whole is that you have an obligation, and anybody does who brings a lawsuit, to give a basic amount of facts. It's pretty low, but a basic amount of facts to force then the other side to have to talk. And so I guess this is sort of a summary judgment because I'm dismissing your claim because there is no, you can't fairly say why $1,000 is owed to you for one thing, even if the court were to find that Mr. Snodgrass took these logs without, in it wrongfully. You don't have anything to say why they're worth $1,000. So you miss on that. And then also, there just isn't sufficient evidence here to show that anything was done under a civil statute or civil law that he took these. You just don't have the evidence on so many ends. And so the claim is dismissed. Nobody owes anybody anything. Logs don't have to go back or forth. It ends. And I'm going to write this judgment up. It'll be in the court file if you want that. I'll give a copy to Mr. Snodgrass, and I just hope that both of you have a better neighborly relationship in the future. But there just isn't evidence to take the case forward.
Okay.
So thanks, Ms. Bettini. Then you can be on your way. Mr. Snodgrass will hand you a copy of this judgment, and then you're on your way as well.
It looks like I was able to get Emily to look at the camera. Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. Saturday night. It also happens to be an important day for me. It's my anniversary. Thought I'd get Emily on the screen. Hadn't been able to have much luck getting her on the screen before. I started the channel last year in January, and it was a little hobby thing. It was nothing that Emily wanted any part of. She was supportive, but she's certainly not interested in being on the screen. I think I was able to get her. Emily, can you hear me or?
I can hear you.
Okay, well they can
Can you
hear
hear-
you too. So
Awesome.
okay, so I guess I've got some sort of thing figured out where if you do thumbs up, it gives you a. Hold on, let's see. I don't know how'd you do the fireworks?
I don't know. That's cool. I'll do it
Okay.
again. Oh, it didn't work that time. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just new. Let's jump to another screen. Maybe it'll be a little bigger. Hold on a second. Let's see. See how this one looks. I got to pick the camera source. Let's go to Emily. How about that? Can you see yourself there?
I can see me.
Okay. All right. You got to do 2 thumbs up, Allie was saying. So Allie will teach me how to use it. See, I'm gonna be that ass and say, Allie, why don't you do that on your show? So try it with 2 thumbs up. Try it with 2 thumbs up. Emily, we're doing a show.
Yes,
So try the thumbs up with 2 thumbs up.
I did.
Okay. I don't guess it works. I don't know. Everybody's there. You're on speakerphone. Hint, hint. Oh,
Speakerphone, okay.
I'm trying to read the comments. There's all these comments on there. I don't know. Well, thank you, Vicky. Hey, thanks everybody for coming out and watching. Thank you, Tupac and Jesse for the gifted memberships. I've always felt super odd about that, but I really appreciate it. It's pretty awesome. Hey, Neil come to see us. Thank you, Neil. It always means a lot, just to have you guys show up. Emily, Allie's saying it's the middle finger. You got to put up both middle fingers and make it work.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah. Victoria's saying try the middle finger. So everybody, we're doing the Judge Fleischer stream Monday through Friday, and most of the time I'm at work, and so Emily's the one actually doing the stream for it. So thank you guys for being patient with Emily and Emily's. How are you feeling doing that stream?
What?
So you agree?
No, say that again. I wasn't listening. I saw the comments. I can't do both. Sorry. What were you asking me?
Fozzie's wanting me to go to the store or something and just let you run the stream tonight.
Oh, no, we need you. Because I'm
Okay.
back here in the room. I don't know how to do anything here.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go to the next court video. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for what you're doing with the Judge Fleischer stream during the week. We certainly couldn't keep it up if you weren't there.
Love you. Thanks.
All right. Love you. We'll go to the next video and we'll see if we can get that one going. So let's see.
All right, so we're taking up the case.
All right. Let me grab another video. We got some Judge Boyd today too. So let's look. Let's just Judge Simmons there.
This is a matter of the state of Michigan versus Terrence Stucky. Issue 5-00798. Appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Randy Berman on behalf of the people.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Aaron Schroeder on behalf of Mr. Stucky, who's joins us on the Polycom from the Ingham County Jail today.
Mr. Stucky, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Today was the date set for a probable cause conference for count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault, and there's a count 2 of a domestic violence, and a count 3 weapons felony firearm. Matter is scheduled for preliminary examination next week, April 4th at 8:30. Will we continue to examine?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
There's a complaint of violation of conditional release. Mr. Stucky was arraigned by Magistrate Milmore back on March 17th. He indicated that he's not to have contact directly or indirectly with Garrett Ann Gonzalez, the supposed victim in this matter. However, the violation alleges that he's violated the no contact order by having contact with the victim, called and spoke to her 9 times between the time of March 17th and March 20th while in the Ingham County Jail on a recorded line. And so there's a report. Did you get a copy of the report, counsel?
I'm looking right now, Your Honor.
I've got something in here, but it wasn't on my schedule, but it actually been filed. I just had a report.
Okay. So Mr. Stucky, let me advise you that you've been accused of violating your bond 9 times from the Ingham County Jail. You have the right to have a contested hearing on those violations and the right to be represented by your attorney at that hearing. Violating your bond is a contempt of court proceeding, and if you're found to be guilty of that, you are subject to a penalty of 93 days per violation. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor. But I only called my.
Hey, stop.
I think your attorney is telling you to stop. I'm going to remind you of your right to remain silent because anything you say can be used against you. I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf at this time. This matter will be set for a PA 53 hearing. And due to my schedule and the new additional charges, I'm finding good cause to go beyond the 21 days. I'm resetting this. I'm finding good cause to go beyond the 21 days to have this matter set after April 4th. All right. May 1st at 9 a.m. for both. Mr. Stucky, do you have any questions for the court?
I don't even know what to say, so I just, my attorney will speak for me because everything I seem to say gets me in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Okay, you should talk to your attorney in private. I don't know if you have any questions for the court. However,
I only have one thing though. I've been here for 2 weeks and I've been asking for medical attention because I was dealing with problems before I got here and no one has addressed anything that I asked of. And
yeah,
I
you're
have a serious
seeking
condition.
medical attention for what?
I have MRSA. Look at my face. My face is blown out. I've been asking and asking. I've seen other inmates come in here. They've seen the nurse or whatever. No one is addressing anything I asked.
You submitted a kite for medical assistance?
Yes, I did, ma'am. Yes, I did. Soon as I got here. Because this is something I was dealing with before I came here.
Okay, that's an issue your attorney should be helping you resolve. The court's doesn't go to the jail to make sure you get your kites responded to. However, if there is a kite, your attorney can contact the jail to follow up on it.
I will do that now that I'm aware of this, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions for the court?
So when's the soonest? So I got to do another month in jail?
You don't have to do any months in jail. You can post bond and then you don't have to sit in jail. There was a bond on this.
I mean, but it was a 50,000 cash assured.
That's due to the nature of the offenses and the risk of flight. So you can post the bond, you get a bondsman, and then you don't have to sit in jail for next month, okay?
I don't have $50,000.
Additional matters for the record?
I would just propose that the court, if it could, send notice to the jail that the defendant's phone privileges should be suspended until such time as we get back to court. It's quite an amount of time before we're back in court, and I understand the reason for that. However, it appears as though at least we have a little bit of evidence here from what I've read in the report about what is contained in those phone calls about the defendant telling the victim what to say and saying things were worded wrong and you need to tell him this, that, and the other, that his phone privileges should be suspended except for phone calls with his attorney. Obviously, he needs to contact them, but I think at this point in time, it might be best to have that happen.
Okay, your request is granted. His privileges will be revoked for calls and video visits except to his attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I need to speak to my attorney because I only called my phone.
Okay.
Stop.
You can speak to your attorney.
I didn't
You
call the
can
detention.
you can speak to your attorney. It will not be in the middle of the court though. So make arrangements to speak to you privately. Okay.
What I'm saying is, if it's shown that I only call my phone and my phone trip is going to be given back to me, I have no family in Michigan.
You talk to your attorney. Talk to your attorney off the record. We'll address this at your hearing. You're all set. You can let the deputies know you're done for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bill number 15. -03544.
Thank you, Your Honor. Randall Berman on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Mr. Rogers.
So he's supposed to appear. He was before Judge Clark on August 14th, 2015, to which he was sentenced. Whatever's here looks different than what's on the judgment of sentence. It says in the file, 1 year or $2,000. Okay. He failed to appear for sentencing on the October 2nd, 2015, and we didn't see him again until February 12th, 2025. He was supposed to report the probation by March 28th at 9. That didn't happen. We issued I revoked his bond, and then he logged into my Zoom this week, and we told him he needs to get to probation the same day if he wanted the.
I want to jump in real quick while she's getting this one set up. I'm gonna see if I can grab Emily back. Emily,
I'm here.
how long did we know each other whenever we met and got married?
7 days, a week.
Yep. And so 27 years after knowing her for seven days. So last night I introduced everybody. I was so excited, to tell everybody about the anniversary. What did you tell me right after the show last night?
This is terrible. I'm sorry. Tomorrow's actually our anniversary. Today's the anniversary of us telling my parents that we're getting married, and that didn't go very well. So yeah, tomorrow's actually our anniversary. But when Bill's like, "Hey, what do you want to do tomorrow?" I wasn't gonna, ruin that. So.
Yep. And so we actually we told her parents, and her mom lost her mind, of course. Her dad's a really religious guy, so he kind of left over to pray. But the mom was just yelling and raising all kinds of hell. We've got to get her fixed first.
Mom.
We got to get her fixed first. And they're talking about mental, like she's not mentally stable enough to get married. And I told her today, I was like, 27 years later, you're still just messed up. And so that's that. All right. I'm going to move my head because I'm right in front of the defendant. So I'm going to get rid of my head out of there, and we're going to go back to this case. But thank you so much for jumping on the screen. I think that's done for you tonight, Emily. Thank you so much for coming and seeing the show. Thank you.
I'll get back to chat.
Yep.
Bench warrant quashed. He did. And so that leaves us here. There was a judgment of sentence prepared, but it just was not ever executed. And that's because Mr. Rogers failed to appear for that sentencing. And I now have an updated criminal history, because obviously you didn't get to probation in enough time for them to actually do a meaningful investigation or report.
Early this week, you mean, Your Honor?
Correct.
Yeah, she scheduled a date for me to come in. I believe, April 4th.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I reviewed your prior criminal history. It looks like you had stayed out of some level of interaction with the criminal justice department until recently. So you just picked up a new charge, is what it looks like.
Your Honor, I believe that it's actually from the incident back in 2015, the pending case.
Sorry.
I have here, February 11, 2025. He was arrested on a misdemeanor larceny, which is the same day he was arraigned on this bench warrant.
Well, he does,
That's how he didn't turn himself on this bench warrant.
right, not that he turned himself in, but just to say that I believe that larceny from back.
Yeah, no new cases.
Okay. So you didn't, so how did you get picked up on the warrant?
Oh, I was riding my bike and I got stopped.
Okay.
The officer was curious about the electric bike I was riding.
Okay, I
on.
don't want to hear about that situation.
Okay.
Just want to know if you turned yourself in. Why, where have you been for 10 years?
I was in Indiana. I have children there, and so that's kind of part of like how I got stuck down there.
So you knew you had sentencing and you just said, no, I'm just gonna go to Indiana.
No, it was a case of that when I was in Indiana, like I was telling the lawyer, I was dealing with child support and I got incarcerated there.
For 10 years?
No, Your Honor. But it was a case that went from 19 to almost 24.
I don't know what you mean, from 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
You're supposed to be here in 2015.
Yes.
Where were you in 2015?
I was in Indiana.
Why were you not here for your sentencing?
I was doing court days back and forth, Your Honor, with Indiana as far as the child support. That's what I was telling.
Why were you not here for your sentencing? Well, I don't care that you got another case going. What's that got to do with why you didn't come for your sentencing?
Yeah, Your Honor, at the time, I was, like I said, I was trying to take care of my children and deal with the child support stuff down there in Indiana. I take responsibility for not showing up for my court date, Your Honor. I'm not trying to get around that.
So you weren't being held in 2015 in jail, correct?
Not the whole.
So you just decided you weren't coming to court here for your sentencing, correct?
No, Your Honor.
So what happened? Why didn't you come?
I was in Indiana at the time dealing with that situation, and I told them that I had, the court here in Michigan, but I went to jail there.
You didn't go to jail in 2015.
That's what I was explaining to the attorney, Your Honor. As far as I remember, in Indiana, I got picked up on the child support warrant.
Yes, but you didn't go in 2015 to jail.
It was like 2015, I believe.
You just finished telling me it was 2019.
That was a different time, Your Honor. I'm just speaking on 2015.
Okay, so you went to jail in Indiana in 2015. Where in Indiana?
Lafayette.
Okay, so and how long were you in jail?
Remember, I was there, I don't know, a few months.
Okay, when you got out, why didn't you come report to this court?
I didn't have any. I lost everything, Your Honor.
Lost what?
As far as possessions and jobs, and I was just broke. I was trying to get back on my feet in Indiana to come back this way. Like I said, I take responsibility, Your Honor. It was a lot going on as far as the children and stuff, and
Why do you keep talking about a lot going on as far as the children and stuff? It's not like you weren't taking care of your children if you had a child support issue going on.
yeah, I was trying to do my best.
Okay, you can make allocution, Mr. Rowland.
Ron, Mr. Rogers has been saying this was 10 years ago. I think he certainly is very different today than he was then. He is employed. He does have stable housing. Certainly well past his days of any kind of mischief or crime, including larceny. And he has made efforts to get current with child support and take care of his children. In those regards, I think certainly he has improved as a person, and I don't think he's a risk to the community at this point. We send it to court's discretion.
Where do you work? For how long?
2.5, about 2.5 months, 3 months.
Fine at $250. What are you going to pay?
Have 30 days, Your Honor.
How much you going to pay in 30 days? The full amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, make payment at the criminal traffic window and he'll be all set. So he has a pre-trial on another matter now?
Yes, that larceny to 2015 is scheduled for pre-trial. Well, it was scheduled on the 24th. But rescheduled at this point.
If I may, Your Honor, that's why I came or called, because I had the Zoom meeting for the 24th on that case, and then I came in, but yeah, so it's back from 2015 as well, I guess.
10. April 14th at 10 is going to be your pre-trial on the other matter.
April 14th, 10 a.m., Your Honor.
That's correct. All set. We'll give you a notice though.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that got me caught. That one ended. I didn't even notice the lively chat there. All right, let's go over to I this morning I didn't know Kathy was going to be streaming. She is tougher than I'll ever be. because I couldn't imagine streaming that early. All right, so we got Judge Boyd. This one here is the Judge Boyd. It's a DUI one where she's getting on to him, and she does like she normally does. And I like how she just kind of talked about how, you know, no one that's doing that drinking and driving thinks that they're going to hurt anybody until they do. So, all right, let's watch that and learn a lesson, and we'll put her beer down while driving.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 010581, State versus Macedonio Claudio Jr. Can I have parties announce?
Andrew Harris Adelman, State. Survey bar for Mr. Macedonio Claudio.
And are you Mr. Claudio?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all discovery and did you review it with your client?
We have.
Probation, this is an application. And Mr. Claudio, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated, third or more, as a third-degree felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, I'm sorry, I need that one back. This one's the one that's not signed. Sorry about that. Oops. It is getting a little bit crazy today. Just 1 second.
While she's reading, I'll just mention about the amending credits. The amending credits I have to record separately, and so almost every day I'm
If for
adding some
any
names to it.
reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you
I'll just pulse her up real quick. So every day I'm adding names to it. If you don't see your name on there, just let me know. I'll get it on there. In the end, there's a ton of names, and it's always going to have some missed. I think I missed Lena's for the first couple of weeks, and she kept getting on to me. So you just got to remind me, and I'm horrible at procrastinating. So make sure you blast me like Fozzie does. So see there, that's what Fozzie does. You don't have to do the super chat. Just put it in the comments. And it'll be enough to embarrass me, and I'll get your name on there. Here we go.
more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights. Did you understand? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe that.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Claudio, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 7 years in the prison, and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea?
It's probation, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, probation. Thank you.
It is otherwise, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry about that. State, did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, ignition interlock for half the term, DWI intervention, VIP live. Well, you're not allowed to drink alcohol while you're on probation. And there's to be 2-year driver's license suspension. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
And did you also understand that as a condition of your probation, the court could sentence you up to 10 years in the Bear County Jail? All right. Then to the offenses charged, how do you plea? State any evidence?
And in exhibit 1 and attachments, Judge. No objection.
All right, state you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports and judgments, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
That'd be the scariest part on me anytime I was in the case. When they start to read, that just scared the hell out of me.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just asked the court to follow the plea agreement and entered into after a couple different discussions, not just with the ADAs, but Mr. Claudio himself. He's willing and able to handle any requirements that the court would impose in this probation, and I think that the gravity and seriousness of his facing here is actually quite helpful in terms of him being ready to do these things and take responsibility.
All right, and with regards to Woolsey, state, is there restitution for Britton Woolsey?
No, Your Honor, all of their costs were completely covered by liability insurance.
All right, and there's no deductible for them?
If there was, they did not mention.
All right, thank you. So probation, there's no restitution. All right, so how often do you drink alcohol?
How long?
Well, I mean, I'm sure after your DWI first, you said to that judge, oh, I no longer drink alcohol. And then when you pick up the second one, oh, Your Honor, I no longer drink alcohol. So obviously you have an issue with alcohol. Obviously you cannot drink alcohol at all because you can't stop when you start. It would have been so easy for this person that you had the car accident with to have been killed by you. And then you would have been here crying, and your family members probably would have been saying, please don't send him to prison. He's a good guy. Counsel, you've done a lot of DWIs. Have you ever had a client or known someone who said, my intention when I went out drinking was to become intoxicated and kill somebody?
Amen.
Nobody ever says that, but it ends up happening. So what I will tell you, when you're on probation, and it's not just for DWIs, it's for any probation case, you're not allowed to drink alcohol, period. If you drink alcohol, that's a violation of your probation. And in this case, if your probation is violated, you're looking at potentially 7 years in the prison. And what I do know is usually when people have DWIs and they go to prison, they end up serving the majority of that time. So what do you do for a living?
I work for a company called 4840 Solutions. It's a pallet company. We break down old pallets and rebuild new ones and sell them. I've been there nearly 2 years, 3 years, 7, 8 months.
And what have you been doing to seek to maintain your sobriety?
started going to lifetime recovery outpatient. I attend AA. I am enrolled. It starts May 3rd. I'm enrolled to the EWI intervention. I completed the VIP, the victim impact. I have my certificate for that. And staying busy, work and home and with my family like I should have been doing.
Mhm. All right. And do you have any minor children?
My youngest is 12, going on 13.
All right. So, council, there is 10 days required at the Bear County Jail. Sometimes in exchange for that, I will do partial GPS, but it will be partial GPS for work only.
Understood, Your Honor, and that's what we would ask respectfully, Your Honor. He is maintaining this job, and it is that's one of the main reasons is that he's helping to support not only his son who lives in the home who has some special needs, but also his wife and his mother as well. So I know that is exactly an important part of it. He understands what he stands to lose with that, so he will comply with all requirements.
All right, so if it's GPS, usually I waive the fees on that. They say there's a free GPS out there somewhere with no fees. I've never seen it. It's a unicorn. But with the GPS with the waive fees, probation may be able to do that with him through the probation, or he may have to go to the jail to pick it up from there.
Understood.
All right. So the court is going to sentence you to 7 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs with testing for alcohol, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, TAP evaluation out of custody, follow recommendations. There will be 30 days partial GPS for employment, waive fees, and that will be in lieu of 10 days in the Bear County Jail. State, do you have any objections to the defendant serving time on GPS as opposed to 10 days in the Bear County Jail?
Objection.
All right. And so that the record can be clear, the court is doing this because one, I think it would be a hardship for you to serve the 10 days in jail. You'd probably lose your employment. And also there is an overcrowding issue at the jail. There are health issues at the jail. I've toured the jail. There is mold at the jail. So that is why it's 30 days. There's going to be ignition interlock half the term. You don't have ignition interlock on any vehicles you have access to. So if those vehicles belong to persons who are living at your home, you must have GPS on those. 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once that's complete, the 200 hours will be deemed satisfied. DWI intervention, DWI education, and probation. Some of these classes he's already completed or he is almost completed. He can receive credit for that. VIP live, 2-year driver's license suspension. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Probation, is there anything else? Okay. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I allow to look for new employment since I started my job after taxes. I was getting like 560. They cut our hours. Some checks are coming out for like 300 something or something.
Oh, yes, you're allowed to look for new employment. All right, just speak with probation about that. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I hope I don't need to tell you this again. There are some people who are driving around. They're just trying to go to a football game, you know, Texas Friday Night Lights thing, or either they're driving somebody during the daytime. Everybody's just trying to get to their destination safely. And in Bexar County, there's an issue with people drinking and driving. They become impaired and they think they're not impaired. And then you end up with accidents and people dying. And then it's a tragedy. And let me just tell you, the public feels little to no sympathy to the person who's intoxicated and they hit someone and then they come to court crying, I never meant to do that. I have a family to support. So if you're not going to maintain your sobriety for yourself, which is really who it should be about, then maintain it for your son that you're supporting. You understand? If you ever need anything, let probation know. If you feel like they're not addressing it, you can come back to the court. If you feel like I'm about to stray from my sobriety, call probation, speak to your sponsor. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can come back to the court and we'll see what we can do to help you. All right. All right. Good luck to you. Thank you. Calling 2025.
All right, before she goes there, let me throw this up here real quick. So Allie posted an update on her channel. You can find it on her Discord. You can also find it on American Courts Discord under Court Addict. I started to read it, but like I told Emily, it's too many words. I'm not reading all that. I didn't join social media to learn how to read better. And so the short version of it is Allie's working on it. She'll get her show running and we will be glad to go and watch her videos. We'll be glad to be a part of her channel. We just give her support and let her get it done on her time and get it done right. That way it's perfect. So thank you, Kimby, for super chat. Thank you, Fozzie. Thank you, Dwayne, for becoming a member. Thank you, Tupac, for just emptying the bank account. Thank you, everybody, for what you guys do. I can't begin to tell you how appreciative and humbling it is. I know I'm going to miss somebody, so I'm looking through here. Vicky, thank you so much. Jesse and Tupac, you guys are awesome. We really appreciate it. We also really appreciate everyone that comes out to the channel and watches. I've never been a big chatter in the chat things, and you guys have certainly created a community, and it's kind of awesome. There's the Discord link. If you can't figure that out, just look up Court Vibes. Go to their Discord. We all join each other's Discord and we all have fun with each other. So, but let's jump back into this one. She's got one more, and then we'll we got about 10 more minutes of Judge Boyd, and then I've got some Judge McNally in there. So let's go there.
5CR001187, State versus Michael Arez Mendez. Could I have parties announce?
Scott Sullivan for the state. Scott Sullivan for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Arez Mendez?
Ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Okay.
Did you understand that you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 to 4 grams? The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow that plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I have.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she have.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Aras Mendez, has anyone threatened you,
No, ma'am.
coerced you, counsel, threatened you, coerced you,
No,
or
ma'am.
placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone?
All right, so Jesse mentioned that earlier. You know, I'd love for someone to say yes, they were threatened. I think every time I feel like they're threatened. I know a lot of people will disagree with that, but if they tell you, hey, you can take this 2 years probation if you admit it, or you can take 10 years in prison if you deny it. Shoot, that sounds like a threat all day long, and I'd take probation. If someone offered me 5 years probation or life in prison, I'm gonna take probation every time. So I don't. It's always amazing to me how they ask, "Is anyone threatened you?" And their answer is, "Nope, sure not. Nope, just give me what you want to give me and let me get out of here."
Promise you anything other than the plea?
Mhm.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 4 years in the prison, and the state is recommending community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, sir.
State is at the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Did you understand by signing that you are waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Yes, ma'am.
No, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry, Your
No
Honor.
problem. Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years and there be a TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I can't contest.
State, any evidence?
Stated in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Judge.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
State to be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I think you finally wants to get a hold. We talked a lot about his sobriety, and he's ready to get there now.
All right, so how long have you been using?
Been using for about 10 years.
When did you start? I mean, how old were you when you first used?
20.
Okay, why did you start?
A lot of depression. And, it's like my family. I didn't have my family.
All right. And is your family here in Bear County?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
All right. So who is your support system? What family members?
My mom.
All right. Have you been to prison before?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
For the same thing.
For drugs?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything other than drugs?
Tampering with evidence and abetting arrest.
All right. And what are all these tattoos about?
Tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I just have love for my city.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We're gonna see if probation thinks that's love for the city or love for groups.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it may be love for more than your city, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's the thing about tattoos. I really don't have a problem with people having tattoos, but this is always tell you, once you start tattooing really above the clavicle, people will see you a certain way. Like, for example, who's going to hire you? Like, there may be somebody out there who said, you know what, I'm going to look past all of this. He seems like a good guy. He seems like he's ready to change his life and he wants to work hard. But 9 times out of 10, people are going to say, that's a little bit too dangerous for me because there's other things going on. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. In custody, we're going to do the following evaluations. TAP evaluation. Follow recommendations. Gang evaluation. And there's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Oh, and also, Ms. Abrams, we'll do a MIC evaluation in custody as well. There's to be regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. How far did you go in school?
To the 10th grade.
Why? Why didn't you graduate?
Because I was
Doing other things? All right. So there's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. And that will be waived if he obtains his GED or some sort of trade school certification. So you're going to have a choice. You can better yourself by obtaining your GED or obtaining your trade school certification in something, or it gets hot in San Antonio, as you're aware, since you say you have love for your city, and you can spend that time on the side of the road picking up trash because that's where they'll put you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And there's to be 120 sober meeting days, 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what that is, speak to your attorney.
Totally understand.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I understand sometimes when people go into prison, they develop an affiliation with groups that have love for their cities because that's what you need to make it through prison, right? You're going to have to make a decision on whether or not you want to change your life. Definitely, if you continue on the path you're on, you're going to either spend the rest of your life in and out of jail, in and out of prison, or somebody's going to be identifying you on the side of the road or in some field somewhere. You understand? In this court, to be successful, communication is key. If there's an issue, if you feel you're about to use, because you're not allowed to drink alcohol either, let probation know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can come back to court. And then if you decide, you know what, this probation thing, I can't believe I signed up to do probation. I don't want to do it. Again, let probation know. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
People, places, and things. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, so she fixed them up there. Felt like I had a echo error issue, so I was trying to fix that and messed it up the other way. All right, let's go to Judge McNally. He had a couple of good ones earlier. Yeah, here we go. This one's got a lady with some mental health issues, and he just talks to her like a good human.
Shauna Johnson, Shauna Lisette Johnson, 242-643-302. Your name, ma'am?
Shauna Johnson.
So I just wanted to talk to you. Your name?
Evelyn Casino.
So Ms. Johnson, I can give you a lawyer now if you want. I'm just gonna have an informal conversation with you, okay?
Yes.
Do you want me to give you a lawyer?
No, thank you.
Show me that letter.
So what we were, I don't know, trying to accomplish today, so I think Ms. Johnson's kind of struggling with some mental health issues. I don't want to put too much of her business out.
Yeah, I know, and I don't either. So I want to listen to me. Come here, talk to me. Just listen to me a second. Nobody here wants to stress you out. Okay? No, nobody wants that. You made a mistake. A lot of people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Okay? I just don't want you to get stressed out about this. So what can I do? I want you to be honest with me. Tell me what I can do to help you out. Okay, that's all I want to do is help you. We're not here to.
Actually, there is a big favor that I can ask. So my head moves around. I don't know what exactly is going on. The diagnoses that I do know are cervical spine degeneration, disc degeneration, and hypermobility, which is a laxity and weakness of the collagen at ligaments and tendons and things. So that makes it more stress on your joints. They move around more. The favor I would like to ask is that I had a crime. I've been a crime victim. It's impacted my ability to get medical treatment. The crime was a chart falsification. It occurred at Trenton Hospital.
Have you already been convicted of that?
I was not the perpetrator of this crime. The hospital, the people who
You were the victim.
Yes.
It was the defendant.
No, I spoke with police about this once, and they were sympathetic to evidence that I would have, which I do, but my dad is a lawyer and he discouraged me from.
Okay, so I don't want to know. I know he's your dad, but I don't want to know anything about what he told you or you told him.
Okay.
Because that's the attorney-client privilege. Okay.
Okay.
He represented you in this case.
Right, but that's not. I mean, he in his opinion, a prosecutor would not. They would use discretion and not take the case up. My problem is that being someone with mental health issues, I do have psychiatric issues. I have bipolar disorder. I do not take the medicines associated with head movements. So there are medications associated with head movements, like tardive dyskinesia is a type of movement disorder. I do not take medications associated with that. But my head and neck move when I'm in an upright or sitting position. I feel a lot of fluid moving around in my head. If I'm laying down, my head is not moving like that. But when I talk to a doctor, they look at the psychiatric diagnosis, they look at the charts that have been made by previous doctors, and then they do not assess me, even though I do not believe that this is a medically stable condition. I feel my head bobbing up and down on it, feels like fluid. I hear a lot of crackling noises. I'm in pain. And
So, but
it affects my.
What can I do to help you?
Yes, Judge. This is what I was saying about. I was reading online something about a 6-year felony statutory of limitations. I would like to bring evidence about the chart falsification to the police. And I don't know if anybody can mention something about this. It may be a community impact. This may be having an impact in the community. If they happen to me, it may be happening to more people. I've been the subject of violence in that place. There has been.
Okay, so slow down a second.
Yes.
I can't, I don't, I want you to understand something. I cannot and will not call the police department and say, take another look at this. I won't do that. It's entirely out of my realm. I have no authority to do that. It would be improper for me to do that, and I just can't do that. If you feel that there's an investigation that's warranted, I'd encourage you to go back to the police department, but I can't get involved in that. I don't have anything to do with charging people or not charging people or the deals they get back there or don't get back there in terms of plea bargaining. I have nothing to do with that. So I cannot, and I'm sorry, I just can't help you, but you can go back. But you know, your dad, and I don't want to discourage you, your dad's a good lawyer, so maybe you should listen to your dad, okay? I know my kids didn't want to listen to me a lot of times either, but most of what we tell people that are younger than us, we're a little bit wiser when we get older. I'd like to think all of us are. And we try to give our kids the best advice we can. And sometimes you disagree with your parents' advice, as mine have with mine, but now sometimes I find them thanking me for requiring something or making them do something or telling them not to do something years ago. So I can't do anything for you.
Could you dismiss the community service requirements, because I cannot be in an upright position, whether sitting or standing, for a long period of time. I cannot do that.
Hang on one second. Do we have real
No, I don't have any like medical documents to support it. I was going to see if maybe we could give her an extension on the community service, and I was gonna recommend Victory Gym because they do short shifts. Like she could do 2 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour shifts.
You know, what you did here is still wrong, so I don't want to, I can't do that. I'm going to extend it though, okay? I'm going to extend your community service was due on March 25th, and you don't have any done, right?
Right.
Community service deadline extended.
It should be extended indefinitely.
Well, I'm going to say right now, June 25th, okay? And if you can't do it, you get a note from your doctor, and I'll be glad to give you a further extension, all right?
And I have one more thing, Judge. So initially, it was the substance abuse group through Class A that was ordered at sentencing.
Yes.
I spoke to the guidance center, and I think with everything, that she has going on, that their more of an individualized program would be more appropriate. She does have an intake tomorrow at the guidance center where she can get substance use and mental health treatment.
Okay.
So I was hoping maybe we could amend the sentence to do the outpatient program versus the class.
Is there any way that I could do jail time instead of?
Why do you want to go to jail? I don't want to send you to jail.
It would be easier for me to comply if we could do that instead, because it would be an environment where I was already present there. I wouldn't have to go through.
Please listen to me. I don't want to send you to jail on this. If I wanted to send you to jail, I would have done it initially. Please. We just want you, we want to get you some help. That's all. That's all we're trying to do.
I am no longer interested in being alive. I'm not going to kill myself because of my mother, but I do not have any investment in anything besides I just have to be there, make it through. I'm waiting down the clock. That all of this being asked of me is very overwhelming.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll delete your community service. I won't make you do the community service. Okay? Everything else is just classes. So I agree with her. I think we should put you in the same treatment for both substance abuse and mental health. and let's just help you get through it. I'm going to delete the community service. I'm not that steadfast on requiring that under all these circumstances here. Okay. I really think you need to get some therapy. There's a lot, listen, there's a lot to be thankful for. Everybody can look at it, right? Like glass half empty, glass half full stuff. You can turn things around. You're still a young lady, right? I mean, you really are. And so we're going to do that. You do the outpatient with the mental health treatment. No more community service. I'm not going to require you to do that. I'll just indicate requirement of community service deleted.
Then do you mind writing the treatment on there so I can amend the
Yes,
order?
yes. And then, so defendant to complete outpatient treatment / mental health treatment. Okay. When is the last time you went to a therapist, Shauna?
Things like that don't matter. I mean, I'll comply with it.
Okay. Okay. I wish you well. Can I help you in any other way? No? You sure?
Yes,
I really wish you well.
thank you.
Smile.
Thank you,
Smile.
Your Honor.
Smile. Okay? Let's see your teeth on the way out. Good luck to you. I really wish you well. Okay?
Your Honor.
Thank you. Lynn Barton.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it there so I can get on to the next clip. That lady was just defeated. She was just ready to throw the towel in and go on to jail rather than deal with what she was dealing with. I can only imagine the pain and depression that comes with that. So she's ready to jump out of there. All right, I'm gonna jump over to this one's Judge Mogan. She did a drug court in her area. Now we have drug court in Florida, and I hire a lot of people through drug court. What they do in Florida is if you have a nonviolent drug offense, you can go to drug court. You have to go to court every week. You have to see, you're constantly tested. But if you can comply with everything, they drop your charges and you're out of there. So it really helps people keep from getting a bad record for the rest of their life over some simple drug charge. And I consider, possession of drugs a simple charge. I'm not making judgments on people out there. But Judge Mogan in her county has a change coming up with their drug court, and she wanted to express it there. They do play a song in there that I cut out because YouTube doesn't like you to play other songs, but you'll be able to pick up what song they're talking about, and we'll discuss it at the end.
Again, I'm going to tell everybody that this is a different drug court. It is different. And I am going to actually play a song that I want each of you to listen to and to hear. And it is a song that I have always connected with as a young person when it was played by a different group, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But this version of this song by this musical group, just listen to it. Listen to it. And it will hit you. It will hit you to the bottoms and to the depths of your soul.
She'll start in there. She plays it through her phone into the microphone. And it's I fast forwarded it through the song. It's Disturbed Sound of Silence. If you hadn't heard the song, go check it out. All right, at some point she'll be done with the song. looks like they're done.
Fools, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. Very profound words. Songs have a way of evoking emotion. Music transcends words, and it fosters a shared understanding between people and between their emotions. It has a way to hit someone, resonating with their experiences or their feelings. I have always loved the song Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, but this version by Disturbed, it hits deep. It reaches and it touches my soul. Silence, like a cancer, grows. That means when we are silent, when we do not communicate with each other, when we let something fester and just be without using our voice, it's like a cancer that grows. I'm going to tell you, for the first time ever after hearing this song, this is the first time I did not weep. I am not a person to cry. I am not a person that gets very emotional. Usually every time I hear Disturbed singing that song, I weep. I'm sure I am not right now due to my position and the fact that I'm sitting behind this bench and I am a leader and I am supposed to be strong. But every time I hear that song, I weep because it hits me. Silence, like a cancer, grows. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Those are words by Elie Wiesel, who is a Nobel Peace Prize human rights advocate. His actual quote is, and I'm quoting, "We must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, not the tormented. Sometimes we must interfere. When human lives are endangered, when human dignity is in jeopardy, national borders and sensitivities become irrelevant. Whenever men and women are persecuted because of their race, religion, political views, that place must, at that moment, become the center of the universe. My whole job is justice, protecting individuals' rights. If I am in a place or a situation and I witness someone's rights being disregarded or impeded, or I see someone who is suffering from another or from actions, I am not a person to just sit back and do nothing and watch. I'm just not made that way. If I do nothing, I am a hypocrite. At this very moment, this is the center of the universe. I am exactly where I need to be. I love my county. I would practically do anything for my county. Blood, sweat, and tears have all been shed for my county. From day one, I have tried to create programs and to develop systems that would not only help to rehabilitate people, not only to help people's lives become better, but would better my county as a whole. I always say, born in Barron, Wisconsin, but raised in Burnett County. If I didn't love it here, I would not have come back to this small rural county. I would have continued to practice in the best of the best, the Michigan Attorney General's office, or at one of the top-notch law firms I was at. But this is my home. This is my family. My life is here. It's here in Burnett County. First and foremost, every action I take and every decision I make, in the end, it shows the dedication and admiration for my county. Protect my county. Protect my people. Protect the rights of everyone, every single person that comes before me every single day. Some of you who may be in front of me right now, or who may be watching this live stream, may be angry with me for what you think I may have done to you by sentencing you to probation, to jail, to prison, to conditional jail time. Some of you are really angry at yourselves and what you have done to you. I have had many people that I have sentenced to all of those come before me and thank me for the things that I have done for them and for believing in them and for recognizing that they have good and for seeing them as people. In the end, I believe that people recognize that I am here to change the justice system. I am here to hold people accountable for their actions, but also give them the ability to better themselves and to be better members of our community and our county. I have and I will continue to work for my county with the same drive and dedication I have always had and at the level that I have performed. I told my county that I have no aspirations to go further in my career. My county is my home, and this is where I'm meant to be. I am telling this now to my treatment court, and I am now telling this to the world. I am hoping that this is going to be viewed by many. Maybe it'll only be viewed and watched and seen by 5 people. Maybe it will beat my record of 1.97 million views for one of my videos. Who knows? I hope this is shared and shared and shared and viewed and viewed and viewed, because this judge cares. Not only do I hold people accountable, not only do I make a change and make a difference in our justice system, in our county, and hopefully in our state, but I truly care for the people that come before me and the difference that can be made in their lives. Does that mean I am always sweet and kind and calm and gentle? No. I tell it like it is, and I am straight to the point. Take no BS type of judge. Will I give you an inch? Yes, but not a foot. Will I give you leeway and patience? Yes, when I feel it is deserved. And if it is not time for me to assert authority. I know how to control my courtroom, and I know how to control my calendar. Again, why am I telling the world and my treatment court all of this? Because as of April 25th, 2025, there will no longer be a treatment court. My treatment court coordinator of almost 8 years has been compelled and forced to resign her position quickly and without much notice due to medical issues and conditions that made it difficult for her to be able to walk and to move and to come into the office. Therefore, she would only be able to work in an online capacity. My treatment court coordinator was provided a 60-day extension in her position and was permitted by the county to work online during that time so she could prepare spreadsheets and databases identifying all of her duties and responsibilities that she has held in all of her capacities in her county position. After attempting to have a very experienced individual, someone with 20 years experience as a probation agent and 6 years experience as a restorative justice agent, attempt to fill her shoes, it was apparent that the functions and duties that she was performing are a full-time position. and she was only getting paid part-time and was underpaid. As she was only given a part-time status and not offered the ability to have affordable healthcare and insurance coverage, she was not able to get the medical care that she needs. This does not sit well with me, not in my role as a treatment court judge, not as a leader in my community, and certainly not as a judge of my county. I am a judge in Wisconsin. Wisconsin has 72 counties. I am the third highest caseload out of 72 counties, tied with Trempealeau County. Yet I am able to be efficient and motivate attorneys, litigants, and others to push forward in the name of public interest and justice. And I steadfastly protect individuals' rights. That is my job. First and foremost, that is my job. And that is why I was elected. I have come to the fork in the road where my principles and my morals direct and control. Treatment court takes a significant toll on judges that lead them emotionally, physically, mentally, and it has a significant effect on the time available on a judge's calendar. I'm not willing to continue to risk my health and my safety unless the same notion is able to be provided by my county. I have always been a team player, and I've always had a systematic approach and not merely a departmental approach when making administrative or other decisions. I cannot adjust my position on a few issues in this county. First and foremost, the safety and the security in this courtroom, the safety of the courtroom for every single person that comes into this room, and particularly my staff and other employees, is of utmost concern to me, as is the public. And second, the treatment court. I am a one-judge county who has to carry all the load of all of the things. Every committee a judge is required to be on, every program that requires a judge to be included, every administrative decision that needs to be made, every case that comes into this county. There is one of me. There are 2 district attorneys, but one of me. But most importantly, my treatment court coordinator. It is a full-time position. She should have been provided a full-time job, but due to oversight, I was not aware of or could have been aware of all of the functions, duties, and responsibilities that she held within the county. I cannot continue treatment court with the negative implications on my personal well-being and on my caseload being the 3rd highest caseload out of 72 Wisconsin counties. And I can't continue to push myself beyond my limits unless I see there is a benefit and a reason for my efforts. The residents of my county that elected me deserve better. The litigants, attorneys, and everyone who appear in front of me deserves better. And quite frankly, my coordinator and my whole team deserve better. For the last 8 years, I have pushed myself beyond exhaustion and beyond my limits for my county. I strive for excellence and to create and form a better justice system for my county. I was elected to ensure fairness and order in the courtroom, apply law to facts of a case, and to ensure everyone has a fair chance at justice, regardless of their background and circumstances. I intend to keep doing my job at that level and at that precision I have been performing it. My county as a whole and the ethics and oath I swore to when I first took the bench deserve me to do this. Any additional programs, committees, or rehabilitative or deferred criminal penalty programs that I am able to be involved with is beyond icing on the cake. If and when They do not conflict with my elected duties and my responsibilities or my principles, morals, and well-being. If I see an injustice, I cannot sweep it under the rug. I cannot do that for 20 people. I cannot do that for 5 people. I cannot do that for one person. My job is to protect everyone's rights. My job is to tell people to use their voice. Silence encourages the tormentor. Silence is like a cancer grows. At this moment, at this very moment, I cannot turn a deaf ear or turn a blind eye. My whole inner core will not allow me to do that. I have asked my county to provide my treatment coordinator with a full-time job. To do that, it would mean giving her an additional 7 hours of employment plus benefits to include healthcare and insurance coverage. The county does not have the financial resources to do that. That is heartbreaking and disappointing. With most and every governmental function, it is what it is. It is rather unfortunate. The world is run by the almighty dollar, and Burnett County is one of the poorest counties in the state of Wisconsin. With the inability to have my coordinator granted a full-time position with benefits, and with the toll that treatment court takes on a very heavy weighted caseload in a one-judge county like Burnett, it regrettably means that Burnett County Treatment Court will end as of April 25th, 2025. My hope and desire is that the Department of Health and Human Resources and the county will be able to salvage the remaining grant money used to pay for treatment court and direct it to other diversion programs to strengthen our county, assist individuals, and resist recidivism. Or I truly hope and pray that our county will be able to locate and find the financial resources to be able to make this a full-time position. But it does not look great. So I wanted to make sure that I let everybody know and know where everything was coming from, and that as of April 25th, at least at this moment in time, treatment court will end. What that means for everybody in front of me, I do not know. But I do know that we are going to continue today, and we are going to continue to see everybody like we normally do. Because I am proud of each and every one of you, all in different ways. I am sad, I am disappointed, I am heartbroken.
All right, so I know she got wordy there, but you got to look. She's talking to the people in that crowd also. Like I said, I have employees that are part of drug court, and some of those guys are looking at 5 to 10 years in prison, but they know that if they follow the drug court, they're good now. We run 24-hour business, and sometimes 2:00 in the morning, a court officer will just call me and make sure that they're at work. You know, of course, it aggravates the hell out of me. It's 2:00 in the morning, but that's the price for that guy to be able to go home to his kids every day. That's the price for him to be free. And if he's willing to do the work, I'll take the phone call. This judge is, they put in a ton of work. They put in a ton of extra work to do it. I know Judge Middleton does it and Judge Simpson does it. I was actually talking with Fozzie about Veterans Court, and I want to show some Veterans Court, but I have some mixed feelings about it because, in the end, I don't want to make money off of a veteran's bad fortune, but there's an educational aspect of it that makes it interesting and makes it worth learning about. But like I said, I know she got wordy on it, and in the end, she's passionate about it. So that's her speech there. All right, I'm going to show something real quick. Let me see if I can find it. On Friday, we got to see some of our friends go to visit Judge Fleischer. We got a picture here I'm going to show of, we got Fozzie, Jen, which is the painted blonde, and then Judge David Fleischer and our Kathy from Court Vibes. Thank you guys so much for going and seeing the judge. Thank you for sharing the picture. That was great to go see, you guys do that. But
He left without signing his mouth.
Oh, yes, please.
Please.